Lynn Cherry here for Pickleball University. This is the second video I've made on the in-out tennis net device. And as you can see here in the picture, the net device there is to the right of the net, about 4 feet from the court. And what it does is it will not only record you when you're practicing and playing, but it also will create statistics for you. So in the first video, I just did some recording just to figure out how to use the device. In the second one, I got a little bit more sophisticated. And the first thing I had to do in order to have the statistics calculate and record was to actually press a couple buttons so that the device can find the pickleball court. Now that was actually really easy to do. I thought there might have been more involved, but as long as you have that net device placed in the right part of the court, it works out really well. So here in the video, you will see that I'm practicing with my lobster pickleball machine, and I'm working on hitting serve returns. Of course, the goal here in practice is to hit these as deep as possible in the court without missing any shots. I'm trying to definitely hit it in probably the back, 25 or 30% of the court. And in some cases, especially on my forehand side, I'm really trying to get very close to that sideline. So anyways, that's just kind of the practice. And you can see the recording. You see the ball machine on the bottom there spitting out balls to me. And then you see me up top. Now, as this is recording, it's also keeping track of where the ball is bouncing on the court. So just like you see in terms of professional matches for tennis or whatnot, you can kind of see the pattern of where all the balls have landed on the court. This essentially is keeping track of that. Now you've seen, or you've heard actually a couple little beeps that it's really interesting. And again, this is largely because I was really trying to go for some lines why I was missing so many, because you really never should miss a serve return. But when you hear a beep, that is indicating that the ball is outside the court. So you've hit it out. It has a beep sound, which you just heard again there. And it also flashes green and red lights if you want to use that to indicate yes, it was good, and no, it wasn't. So it's a really, really cool device. And let's go ahead and take a look at some statistics here. So here, this was not the serve return part of my drilling. This was actually the third shot drop part of my drilling. And I'm just showing you the side of the court that I was dropping the ball into. And, you know, as you can see, you've got statistics up top and you've got statistics down the side, and it's supposed to really represent different areas of the court. It would probably be a little bit better if they did this differently for pickleball, because it would be nice just to show that, you know, because you can see I do not have 92% of my third shot drops bouncing, you know, within the kitchen or on the kitchen line. So, you know, they were ending up pretty short in the court, but you can see there's really a whole bunch, you know, probably 12 or so that landed too deep in the court for a good third shot drop. Now, note the one that went really deep in the court at the very end of my practice session. I was starting to get warmed up to hit some serve returns down the line. So that's what that kind of odd one is there on the left. But anyways, I mean, it's really cool. It shows you that, you know, I hit 39 balls over the net and into the court in that third shot drop drill. Now, as you can see, I still need a lot of practice in terms of getting my third shot drop a little bit more consistent. But anyways, that's for another time. So in the next photograph here, this is actually the statistic associated with the serve return drill that I was doing. On the right hand side, you'll see that's where the lobster pickleball machine was sending the ball to me. So it's a pattern which is, you know, most everything is pretty much in the center of the court. You do see some variation in terms of how deep the ball was going from the pickleball machine. And that's actually because I used two different types of balls in it, Onyx and the Franklin, just to have some variety. I don't like to get tuned to one ball, but what that does practically with a pickleball machine is that the Onyx ball is much lighter, so they go much deeper in the court than the Franklin ball does. So that's kind of why you see that odd pattern on the right. Of course, what's really more interesting is what was going on the left-hand side of the court, and you could see that a lot of balls, were very deep in the court. Some were, some weren't. There's a number of balls that on the right-hand side, off to the sideline are certainly out, and that's where I was just, since it was practice, trying to be pretty aggressive with the serve return, and I was really trying to go for that line if I could. And as you can see, I had some success, and then I didn't have some success. But you'll also notice that the ball machine sent out 67 balls, and you'll see that I only had 51 bounce back in the court and get recorded, because what I was doing, since it was the first time I was messing around with the statistics, I wanted to kind of see how accurate the machine was and what it could actually pick up. And do note that there was a number of occasions when I hit balls which the machine did not pick up on that they were out. So if I hit anything really high, it certainly did not pick it up, whether it was out the baseline or off to the side. And so some of the times it just flat out missed things, and certainly flat out missed some line calls too. So remember, this is actually the net device, which is for recording and statistics. If you want kind of more official line calling for a match or something, you would actually need line devices on the court. But anyways, it is very cool. My next plan is to get this set up with a regulation match and come back and show you some more of the video and the statistics that are calculated.